Hello, YouTube, and hello, Ninth Age community. This is Charles with Evershade Gaming, and I've got another Infernal Dwarf beta review. And I'm joined by my local Infernal Dwarf player, Maxwell Lepora.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Who, to my knowledge, has pretty much been playing Infernal Dwarfs for just about the whole time in Ninth Age.
Yeah, the whole time. Definitely.
Every now and then he dabbled in something else, because you have like 10 other armies.
Just a couple on the shelf.
But you are an Infernal Dwarf player through and through.
I keep going back.
And we got to talk about the first beta that came out May of last year. Wow. So it's kind of interesting to think that it's been a while. Was that 19 months? So long beta for sure. And I think we've had a lot of memes about it, but we're hoping to get through. Mm-hmm. And we're going to take this time in this beta talk to just go over all the small changes that happened.
Some highlights, some lowlights. Not too many lowlights.
Mostly highlights.
Pretty happy overall.
And then at the end, we'll just review the points, anything that stands out to us, and we'll call it a day there.
Love it.
So the new rule that came out is solitary.
Yeah, so it's kind of a nice way to just cut through all the towering presence, all the extra verbiage that some of these single characters were getting that were restricting some of the magic items. So I think it just cleans up some of that stuff. Really cleans up that they can't join other characters.
That's what I was wondering.
Helps clean up, I think, overall usage.
I wonder if there were some people doing a little cheeky stuff too.
Yeah, cheeky monkeys.
Because we'll see who ends up getting the rule. It's only a few units really end up getting this.
Lamasu, I think some of the standalone characters. Yeah, we'll go through them as we see it.
And then the only other kind of major rule tweak was the oil flasks can only do one marker now,
regardless of ranks.
So it's a bit of a nerf, but I think the vassal levies are still going to be quite useful for people. I don't think they're going to disappear.
Not going away, for sure.
Volcanic Embrace changed.
Nice change, I would say overall. I think I like it.
Yeah, they're now just AP10 all the time. Which is pretty good.
Forget armor.
Previously, AP4 left some things with a 1-up armor save, with a 5-up, characters, Steam Tank, Empire Knights. Yep. But now, AP10.
AP10. No half measures.
A little bit more scary.
Straight for the throat.
The Napa Thrower had a small rule text addition, which is just that when it explodes, the misfire effect gains flaming attacks. Yep. Which is just honestly fluffy, if anything. That's the only thing about it.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. I must have thought that sounded fun, so they added it. That's not too big of a deal. If anything, I guess if it does happen,
helps me out.
Yeah, it helps Infernal Dwarfs out. Yeah.
With Infernal.
So that's, if anything, just a boost for your army. Kirsten Nebukesh, I think, had just a tweak, or maybe it actually did say the same.
So they've been kind of playing with how many incendiary markers goes on this. Okay. They also changed up how the casters work. So a couple of the casters, when they do this, automatically add an extra incendiary marker.
Okay.
So now they're adding an additional -1 for every incendiary marker on top.
Okay.
But base, it only does -1.
Okay.
To the weapon skills.
Oh, that's right. I think, if anything, the text just also maybe clarified it that it's if you lose an incendiary marker, the offensive and defense skill can go back up. So, probably just sort of any rules clarification.
Yep.
All right. Some big tweaks, I feel like, in the special items.
Yeah, some nice ones, too. Onyx Core, I want to say, got just a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, maybe 5 points or so.
Yeah, strength always set to 6, hand weapon or infernal weapon with it. Same utility everywhere else.
Yeah. If anything, that's better than it was, right?
Yeah, I would say great. Yeah. Flame of the East, awesome. With the Volcanic Embrace change, it still does the same amount of hits, potentially, but now it's all the
AP10.
Yeah. So great. A little bit of a points increase with that. So very takeable. Great item, in my opinion.
I had the bold change, too.
Yes. So this is going to be really interesting because now you can get the higher strength or lower strength, depending on how offensive you are. At least when you're looking at the
because you could put it on a prophet, right?
Yep. Could put it on a prophet. I mean, I think that's doable all the time.
Still strength 4.
Not crazy, but not quite the strength 7 that it would be on an Overlord.
Yeah. So if anything, it's better on some of the more offensive characters.
Yep, it definitely makes it more interesting, and I believe got cheaper too. So
yeah, only 40 points. That's not very expensive.
Not bad at all. Great item. Into the armor, Blaze of Protection got a big change here. Just straight to the armor, easy 1-up armor save. Got like 25 points more expensive, and otherwise, does a very similar role where does those hits back if you're not going to attack him.
Well, so, what did it do before?
It still did these attacks back. It just did not give nearly as much protection.
Was it just like +1 armor or something?
Yeah, just like +1, and then I want to say it had one other effect on it. But
so, I mean, that's nice that you can get 1-up armor save characters.
Yep.
Just that 60 points isn't terrible too for just a 1-up.
Yeah, whereas before, I mean, we were looking at it, it was the Fearless +1 armor and then still did that, hit thing. So give him Fearless. Nothing too interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's not as interesting. So now they introduced a new banner.
Got rid of one, added one.
OP.
Yeah, this one's awesome. This is Seaguard are now...
Seaguard are crying.
Yeah, they're crying tears of salt, for sure.
I'd say this is the only thing I saw and I thought, that is way too fucking good. But that's okay. I mean, I maybe just tweak, put that thing up.
Yeah.
Because the barriers unit does not suffer the -1 to hit spider for stand and shoot, which I'm sure a lot of Infernal Dwarfs are going to... I missed that.
Comes back. Again, it's kind of that hint of what we used to have. So
in addition, at the end of the charge phase, immediately after all charge moves have been resolved, Bear's unit may perform a combat reform following the normal rules for combat reforms. If all the following conditions are met, the Bear's unit consists entirely of infantry models and or gunnery teams. The Bear's unit performed a stand and shoot charge reaction in its move phase. The Bear's unit was successfully charged during its move phase. So, I mean, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't serve your stand and shoot. You get to have a reform. I mean, it depends on how many things charge you. Because if you get charged by 10, like
you're not really
you're not going to change anyway. But if you get charged by 1 block or something like that, you're going to go deep.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool, I think.
Definitely a nice, very nice banner.
And 60 points. 6 points is pretty good too.
Probably on both Flintlocks and Blunderbusses, honestly. Although Flintlocks right now.
I guess Flintlocks benefit more because Blunderbusses already don't worry about the stand and shoot charge reaction.
True. I'm just thinking for the extra ranks.
But I think the Blunderbusses benefit more from the reform.
Yeah.
Because
they already have the fight extra rank.
Both units do, which is so weird.
I don't know. This is gonna be a great banner.
Yeah. I think it's gonna see a lot of use. Yeah. Breath of the Basket Bowl just had solitary added to it.
Yeah, so this is where we get that solitary play. So it's again restricting some stuff. Otherwise unchanged.
Mm-hmm. So still very good though. And then
Icon, I think that was just like a small word change and then a small point change.
That wasn't a banner though previously, right?
This is still banner section.
But it wasn't a banner before, right? Didn't they move this to banners?
Ooh.
I don't think this was a banner beforehand. Or I feel like I didn't see it a lot because I feel like this is a good banner, right? 1 use only. Oh, it's only 1 use only. That's okay. I don't know. It's still decent.
It was an artifact before.
Yeah. So it gets 1 use only, may have active in the main phase. The banner's unit gains volcanic X, where X is the number of friendly units within 6 inches. They contain 1 model with magical attacks.
Well, so this is interesting. So now you can.
In addition, in addition, attacks made by the friendly units within 6 inches of the bear's unit, except attacks made by the bear lose flaming attack and magical attacks if applicable. Oh, that's interesting too. If you needed to lose flaming attacks or something.
Well, yeah, this is the whole flame off thing.
Yeah, and then affect the last unit of the magic dice. That's interesting.
It used to be a nice effect with like the disciples previously. So maybe that's still a play here. You can put it on that unit because they have all the flaming attacks that you can still get.
It's interesting. I'm curious to see how people figure out how to use this because it's not clear to me necessarily what it does better than some other things.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's still very popular. We'll see if it gets any play. Master's banner, small points change, nothing else. Yeah. Still nice little banner.
Yeah. Running a lot of I mean, it's not that expensive for 50 points.
Tablet is awesome.
Tablet got a boost.
Got cheaper and it got 16% more effective.
Yeah.
Impacting on the
1
game.
and a 2. It's really nice.
So great.
Awesome. And then the Mask Age has had a big change too.
Yep. So this is going to kind of mirror, let's see, kind of what it used to be a little bit, get a little bit of a flavor. Helps out with the Aegis against the special attacks, so you're getting that. Gives you that nice built-in Aegis, but only against magic attacks. So you get that, you get the fear. I think the most important thing is you just get to reroll all your failed to hit rolls.
I think the other thing is 40 points is not expensive at all.
So cheap. I mean, for the 5-up, only against magical. I don't know. You're really
I think the things that are going to hurt you, though, are going to tend to have magical attacks.
I think it's a fair.
I took a picture of this because Instruments of Destruction is highlighted 25%. They're currently 25%.
Yeah, I saw that too. It didn't change.
So I was wondering if they were maybe going back and forth about increasing it, and then maybe decided not to, but they highlighted it blue for us for some
point of contention on the rules team.
Yeah, and then the Overlord had a quite a big shift.
Yeah, huge point decrease. I think this was like a 60-point drop for him. Big change to the arrogance rule. So he's no longer forcing these charges to happen, potentially. Instead, he's just passing out that fear immunity to his unit. So kind of, again, reminiscent of what they used to have, just in a smaller rule.
He used to have the fear immunity.
Nice little touch for him. I would say the more interesting piece is going to be the keys to the Citadel, which now gives you really this opportunity to enchant everything that you have access to.
You must buy two weapon enchantments.
Yes.
Must buy.
Leads to some pretty interesting builds, I would say,
yes, because the other thing is he's a weapon master with a flintlock axe, a gray weapon, an infernal weapon, paired weapons, and a spear. This guy's got everything but a blunderbuss, but a blunderbuss is 5 points. So if you want it,
you can have that too.
5 points.
You can have that too.
So I wrote down a couple different Overlord builds just because I thought this was quite interesting.
Now, really nice piece here is he has 250 points to work with.
Yes, which is quite a bit. You can fit a lot in. So
yeah, you got a lot cheaper. You have to do these extra enchantments. Hit us with it.
I'm going to start with the one I think is interesting but not the best and go towards the one I think is going to be seen quite a bit.
Excellent.
So we got the Breath of the Brass Bowl, Eye of the Bowl, Blaze of Protection, Ring of Desiccation, Cleansing Fire on a gray weapon. So this guy's got a 1-up armor save, 4 wounds, Toxic Breath weapon. He's got 1-up with the Blaze, Ring of Desiccation for the extra Incinerate every round, which is just good.
Sweet.
And then a Cleansing Light gray weapon to synergize with Flaming, and Eye of the Bowl for characters that have a Flaming Aegis, honestly. You're still doing 2 wounds to him with AP 10.
2.
That's still very effective.
Strength 7.
Yeah, strength 7. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nice little touch. How many points is that?
It comes up to 250 exactly on his magical enchantments, so he'd be 475.
Not bad.
You don't even need a shield. So, yeah, 475.
So good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Honestly, that's not bad at all for a character. It's got a lot of utility. And reasonably survived. With 4 wounds with 1-up, that's still going to get you through quite a bit.
Resilience 5.
Yeah. The next build I put together was Blaze of Protection for 1-up again, Mask of Ages for a 5-up Aegis against special attacks and magical attacks and the fear and you're able to hit. Flame of the East on a gray weapon for D3 Volcanic Embrace. Eye of the Bowl again on the Flintlock because it's also just kind of cheap.
It's so good.
It's very cheap. And then the Ring of Desiccation again because, again, Incendiary Marker. And this one only came out to 240, so you could change the Eye of the Bowl to something else if you wanted. I actually kind of thought that paired weapons with what is the... I'm trying to think what the AP6 enchantment is in the core.
Titan.
No, that's the Titanic Might. I just can't think of it offhand. I'm going to look it up because it's going to drive me crazy.
Oh, boy.
Shieldbreaker. Shieldbreaker had the AP6. That gives you AP6 on that. It's not bad. But then again, you already have AP10 with your Flame of the East. But then again, I guess if they had a Flaming Aegis, you'd want to go to the other weapon. That's what I think is going to be funny, is that this guy's going to be flip-flopping. This guy's going to be flip-flopping for whatever he needs to use to kill. And then this build, I think Maxwell and I both agree this one's just bonkers good. So, Kadim Binding, that's the shield enchantment on him.
Gives him parry.
Gives him parry and lets him use 2-handed weapons all the time. Death Cheater, because it's OP bent broken shit on a
Infernal
character
armor.
with 5 pages save. Onyx Core on an Infernal Weapon, because Onyx Core is just solid.
Yep.
And then Kingslayer on a Grey Weapon for the characters that have a Flaming Aegis again.
Yep.
Very good.
No weaknesses.
No weaknesses.
Come at me.
He's got a 2-up, 4-up. I mean, he's got 4 attacks.
Strength 7.
Strength 7.
With
Strength 7 with the Grey Weapon, or Strength 6 with, Onyx Core. If they got the Flaming Aegis, yeah, it's really solid. So, I think the...
Interesting choice. I think relatively inexpensive. He has a lot of utility.
I'd like to see people run Overlords. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things that he's a foot melee character, so he's always kind of a little bit hampered by that.
Yeah.
But I'll be curious if people run some more core blocks or special blocks.
Chuck him into some Immortals. I think they're going to be nice.
Yeah, that could be a very hard unit to shift. The Vizier had 1 change. He can be on an Infernal Bastion, but he can't be a BSB.
Yeah, so now you're just taking a Bastion, throwing a Vizier on there. I don't know.
I don't know if there's like there might be fun builds. I'm not sure, but seems fine. Yeah, it's a little bit of a cheaper Bastion. Lamasu Scholar got Solitary added to him. That's his only change, so he can't get
Mask.
Mask.
What is it? For the
Breath of the Brass Bowl.
Yeah,
which was really good. But then I think there's other good things to give him too.
Give him a book.
Book of Arcane Mastery. Yeah, equally good. So, Seat of Authority had 2 really nice changes. HP +1, very nice.
HP 4 on these Viziers.
Cannot be stomped either. Also nice.
Those Viziers have come a long way since 8th edition.
Big time, yeah. I would
2
say
HP back in the day.
Yeah.
4 HP now.
4 HP on a Seat of Authority. Pretty good.
Let's go.
Bull of Shamut got Solitary added.
So lost the Towering Presence, got the Solitary.
Yeah. Which actually the loss of Towering Presence is helpful for quite a few things. Like you can benefit from walls now.
Line of sight purposes.
And
walls,
you can
forests.
sit in fields now.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's quite nice.
All good things.
The only thing that happened for the Infernal Bastion, and this is the character mount and the normal one, is it lost Fires of Industry.
I think a nice little change.
Pretty big.
It's going to let you just start to take more war machines while still adding in these extra really nice choices.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be quite helpful. Kadim Incarnates had a pretty big shift.
Yeah, even some stat changes, point changes, rule changes. So really they hit all 3.
Yeah, they just nixed Ash Storm as a rule.
Yeah, so they're no longer...
So now
to the standing shoot.
So now you got to examine.
So you got to take that. They changed up the whole Volcanic Embrace, so they're only giving him 1 hit versus 2.
But now it's 8-10.
It's understandable. They also lowered the agility because of that. So,
but they increased the strength.
At the same time, they got him Strength 5 again. So I feel as though that was something that was missing from him. I missed that Strength 5.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like they're still in a solid spot, right?
Yeah. Points wise, I think it all kind of evens out. We'll see how these guys play, but still a nice choice.
4 Incarnates and one of them being a champion for 400 points. That seems takeable. I take those. And the same changes went on to the Kadim Chariot and the Character's Chariot too, so they're all the same. Yep. Immortals had a huge change too, I feel like, again.
Yeah, they've really had a interesting path through the whole book process here. So they got rid of the Whispers of the Mask, so that's all gone. Whole battle focus, small Aegis save thing. And instead, they gave them back their parry that they had. They're still getting their infernal armor, their shield. They have battle focus now, which is just huge.
All the time. Yeah.
All the time. And 5 up against special attacks with that Aegis save.
Which is solid.
They're keeping their bodyguard. They cause fear still, so that's really awesome. And they still have their great options for infernal weapons, great weapons, or spears. So
I think they got a good price change downward. Yeah. So
overall, I think they're in a really good spot, especially with parry. I think, and then keeping the battle focus really nice.
I mean, I feel like you're going to see great weapons on these guys more often now too.
That could be cool.
Innate parry on them. Battle focus with the innate parry. Things are still hitting on 4s.
Why not? Great saves.
It's good.
Great saves.
Only the other thing that happened is Lugar lost Ash Storm, but that's about it.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, they're still very much the same. Gunnery teams had a big change with the Fires of Industry.
Yeah, they kind of changed up how they're doing it with the teams, with the artillery, and putting it more so on the gun rather than the platform. So really the only big change was the Naphtha Thrower went from being a 2 to a 1 when we're looking at the Fires of Industry. So you might see more of those now that they're cheaper in terms of what they're impacting list building wise. Leaving more options open for more war machines.
Yeah, so I think that's a decent change because I feel like you just weren't seeing a lot of Napa throwers.
Yeah,
and I mean the Napa throwers I feel like isn't even. It's not that it's not good on this, but I mean it's also just like 12-inch range flamethrower.
Yep,
it's good. It's a good flamethrower, but it's not like it's got like super tons of range or something like that. It's gonna be tied to a block. So
yeah, again, still just the short range. They did give him an extra pip of health.
That's nice. Yeah,
got him back to 4
wounds. Yeah,
no big deal. We'll see how they play. Same with our Infernal Artillery in terms of how that plays with the Naphtha throwers. So
again, Naphtha throwers are cheaper now, so you can have a ton of Naphtha throwers in your army.
Engines are really going to be nice.
They are, yeah. I think they're still 2 points on engines. They are still 2 points on engines. Yeah. Well, engine's so good.
Well, the nice change was the Rock Crusher no longer counts towards Fires of Industry.
That is pretty big.
So that is really going to open up, I think, a lot of lists for that Rock Crusher solely. I've been running that for a long time.
I think the Rock Crusher's solid. Yeah.
I was eyeing the Naphtha thrower for a little bit here, but I think with that change, I stick with the Rock Crusher and add in more.
Yeah. I think the Rock Crusher's solid.
Artillery.
Yeah. It's such an effective combat unit.
Yep. So really good stuff. And overall, same points.
Yeah. Titan also had some significant tweaks all over the place.
Yeah. Of course, with Volcanic Embrace, that's all changed for him as well.
He still gets the same amount, though, D3 plus 1.
D3 plus 1, so that's really good. He does change up how his Searing Heat works. So now instead of the armor piercing, armor rating kind of changes, now he's impacting the offensive and defensive skill stuff. So that, I think, is a really nice piece because he's his offensive and defensive 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's reaching out to some of these more elite units and really
making them worse.
Being able to beat up on them. They're hitting him less.
And I think it's going to be interesting to see how you could synergize that, too, with the Hereditary.
You got the Hereditary. You got Witchcraft. I think there's a lot of great tools. Occultism, just to impact weapon skill now in the Infernal Lords, which is really cool.
Yeah. And then Agility went down. His AP went up.
Yep. So he still has some really nice AP with his Strength 6.
Yeah.
Agility, I think that was in par for the course with Volcanic Embrace. Still great. 7 HP. I think a really interesting choice. I think a lot of people are taking this guy right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think a 5 of Aegis on anything is just good.
So good.
7 wounds, that's a lot of HP to chew through, too.
Hard to say no.
And the same thing with like all the other Fires of Industry. They have different costs, but they're all the same for him. So not really a big tweak there. And then this is kind of just looking again at the point tweaks. So this is all the special items, which we kind of talked a little bit about. They're all pretty good though. I know Eye Scrolling went to 10 points. Eye Bull went down. The Flame of Eastling went by 5 points. Oh, the Mask of Ages went down by 30 points. Wow.
Yeah. And gosh.
And I think it's
reroll
even better now.
Time.
Yeah.
For 40 points.
Yeah. Blades of Protection only went up by 25. That's not that bad. The Tablet went down by 10. The Ring of Desiccation went down by 10. The Icon went up by 10, but now it's a banner. Lugar's Dice went down by 10 points.
Yeah, I think just a lot of wins. Tablet, I think, was a big one.
I think you're going to see that all the time.
Yeah, gosh, so many.
Oh, geez, he went down by 60 points.
Yeah, it was a full 60 points on that Overlord. Because before you got to get those...
Yeah, technically you got a free weapon enchantment previously.
So now you're paying a little bit. You can kind of play with that. But, he has a lot of flexibility, like we talked about. So should be fun.
And then his Toric Ritual went down. His Bowl went down. Both his Bowls down.
Down on the Overlord.
Profits went up everywhere. But only minor tweaks. Only minor costs up.
Mm-hmm.
Vizier looks like he went down everywhere but the Seat of Authority, which is reasonable.
Gave him a plus on health.
Yeah, it's better now. And the Turok Commissioner just up a little bit, Infernal Weapon down a little bit, and the Vassal's Seed went down a little bit. So nothing too crazy there, I'd say.
Bring back the Vassal Conjurer Cowboy.
Core, so Infernal Warriors went up, additional models went down. Citadel Guard went down 10 points. Model went down 1 point. Spear and Pistol went down 1 point. Flintlocks went up 2 points.
So I had this wrong. So actually, I think that pretty much evens out for those Flintlocks. Or it's a lot closer.
Just about so.
Marginal, I think.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like with your build, you're maybe playing not a lot because
really not much. Of a change.
Yeah, it's really just one less point on each model.
Yeah.
Ish. It might even actually even out with the base cost going down by 10. Yeah, so you have somebody that got cheaper overall.
So good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, but yeah, they definitely needed to boost the pistol and the spear, which seems like such a good option too, but you just don't see it.
No.
Yeah.
Even shorter range than the other stuff, practically, and
well, it's the same range as the blunderbusses. But I mean, spears are nice.
I would just rather the blunders go for great weapons.
Yeah, that's
extra
true.
Fight, extra rank, all that fun.
Yeah, that's fair. Vassal levies went up a little bit. Their chieftain went down. Immortals base cost went down. Price per model went up by 1, so that's going to even out. Just
honestly, I think for the changes, they're going to be really fun.
But their changes are all really good. Disciples of Lugar went down 5 points. That's not too big of a deal. Incarnates went up 10
per model. I think with the volcanic burst change, it's pretty
reasonable.
That's fine.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
I'll take it.
Chariot base cost went up. Great weapon went down. Truck and Foresters went down, and then the great weapon went up, and their frontal weapon went down. Which is interesting.
That changes them too much.
Yeah. Anointed up, and down. Vassal Cavalry up again. I was kind of surprised to see them go up again.
Man, they really increased those.
I know. But
those Anointed went up by 9 points per piece on these guys.
Oh, initial model. Yeah. Yeah, that's decently significant. Yeah, the truck Anointed got decent bit.
Cost.
Yeah.
That's fair decrease.
Yeah.
Vassal Cav, though, I mean, they're really fun.
Yeah. Gunnery team went up, but then the 2 other options are free now, so that's seems like a free trade.
Yep.
And then the Infernal Artillery, the Titan Mortar went up.
I think that's fair.
Reasonably, I think you're seeing a ton of those right now.
25 points, I think, on the increase is probably a steal.
Bastion went up 10 points now that it's free. Infernal Engine went up base, but then down. So I think you're still saving points overall.
It's just the Titan.
I guess the Rock Crushers. Yeah, it's the same points. Yeah. I guess your rocket battery is quite a bit cheaper, 20 points. Titan went up and up with his 2 different options, but I think that's fair. I think he's better now.
I don't even know if I've seen this guy taken with the shooting options.
Titan. Yeah, it seems decent.
I don't know. I just think there's better chassis just with the regular either engine or the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then just keep him fighting.
I mean, I think he's also his fighting option's really good.
Yeah. Who knows? Citizen Giant, still just a fun.
Yeah. I feel like you don't see a ton of Citizen Giants these days. I feel like they had their time in the sun, and then they seemed to
shields. Yeah, they kind of fell off.
Oh, that's right. The tower shields were really good. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So how you feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, honestly, I feel as though these guys are in a really good spot. Points-wise, I think they got a little bit nerfed where they needed to be with the Anointed, with the Titan Mortars. Those seem to be still some decent pain points with these guys. Otherwise, I think just some nice changes overall.
Yeah, it's just mild encouragement to try something a little bit different, right?
Yeah, gives the Immortals a really nice identity because I feel like they were kind of floundering for a long time.
I'd like to see some Immortals, but obviously I feel like they're one of the most flavorful, cool units in your book.
Yeah, it gives them that kind of eliteness with the battle focus, plus the resilience with the Aegis against the special stuff. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because there's still a decent amount of units on the game that could, blender them. There's still some,
definitely.
Some things that just have a single attack that can,
and parry, of course. How can you forget the parry?
The parry's nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Parry weapons.
Yeah, because even I guess what sword masters could go in if they made it to you, right? They got to get to you.
Oh yeah. Good luck, sword masters.
But if sword masters did make it in a decent unit, they're not only hitting you on 3s, and they're winning on 3s.
Yep.
Depending what you're running. If you're running infernal weapons, you got 5 up. Ray weapons, you got 6 up.
Sure.
Yeah, they can do some damage.
They could.
Yeah, but they got to make it to you.
They definitely do. They don't though. They never do.
Yeah. Because to my knowledge, is this beta 4 should be the last beta for Overlord. So that's what I've been hearing from the Infernal Dwarf lab team. Is
That's
that
a stable spot?
Is this one is supposed ending, and then from here it's tweaking rules, clarifications, and then gold.
Love it.
And then you're set for a bit.
The end is in sight.
The end is in sight.
No, again, I think it's really exciting. I think they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Excited to see how this play tests in the Gen Pop and see what kind of army lists people come up with.
I mean, it only took 17 months, but we're getting there. We're almost done.
So close.
Well, Maxwell, thank you for joining me for this review of the Infernal Dwarfs book.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
And I appreciated your professional critique in all the right spots.
Yeah, well, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not that good.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this Infernal Dwarf review of Beta 4. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, until next time.
For more 9th Age content.
Adios.